So President Biden has announced a re-election campaign. What do you think about it?
Well, I think that was kind of expected that he will run for 2024. The question was one of timing as to when he was going to make a formal announcement. And now that he has did it this week, I think the stage is all set for him within the Democratic Party. I don't believe that there will be any opposition from within the party. There is not going to be a Ted Kennedy who challenged Jimmy Carter in 1980. None of that kind of stuff. Although one of his nephews or grandnephews is in the fray, but that would not be amounting to much. In fact, some of his major challenges in 2019, 2020, like Senator Bernie Sanders, have said that they are going to support Mr. Biden.
So his pathway to get on the Democratic Party's nomination is clear. There's no doubt about it.
I don't think there will be any problem for him within the party getting. The question now is who the Republican opponent is going to be and what are the strategies that the Democrats are going to come up with to meet any challenger within the Grand Old Party.
Coming to the follow-up on that part, who do you think is going to be his Republican challenger?
Well, if I knew that answer, I'll be making a lot of money by now. But I don't know. To be very honest with you, the former president, Mr. Donald Trump, has clearly said that he is in the fray. And then, but the other Republican pack, with the exception of Governor Nikki Haley, Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy, and now you have the former governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, making their views clear on running. But the big question is when will the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, throw his hat in the ring formally, and how all this is going to change? Will the GOP see? Right now, you are in a situation in which Mr. Trump has got a commanding lead over any of his potential challengers, starting with Governor DeSantis. There is at least a 20-point margin that separates the two of them. But 2024 is a long way off, and the campaigning, the primaries and the caucuses have not even begun. So I think there's a lot of time left.
He is already one of the oldest presidents in Israel, and if he wins the election, he will be again the oldest president. Is agent factor in U.S. politics?
Definitely, especially for Mr. Biden, as you said, he is already the oldest American president. He will be 82 if he were to be re-elected on the day of the inaugural, and he will be 86 when he steps down after completing 4 years. That is, if he gets re-elected in 2024. Age is a factor. A lot of people, even within the Democratic Party, are not comfortable with it. A national poll shows that as many as 70% of Americans not in favor of Mr. Biden in the ticket. More than 50% of Democrats are apprehensive. And I saw one poll that shows about 90% of Democrats under the age of 30 not for Mr. Biden. So basically, he has to pull his own house in order before he is going to make any meaningful impact on the electoral scene. Now, what do I mean by that? He has to bring in the young voters on his side. He has to take care of the progressive, the left of center Democrats. He has to take care of African American voters. He has to take care of the Hispanic voters. See, all these people are slowly pulling away from the Democratic Party, which is not good either for Mr. Biden or for the Democrats.
Looks like he's trying to form a coalition of different groups.
Well, he can always try and find a coalition. And of course, the Indian American community is a very significant part of that coalition. It's a very powerful group. About 75% of them are with the Democrats. But even here, you have to be careful because those numbers are slowly coming down from 2008. Obama, Hillary Clinton, and then Mr. Biden himself. So it is not as if that the Indian American community are locked in tight with the Democrats. A good portion of them are with the Republican Party. So you're going to find both the Democrats and the Republicans vying for the Indian American vote, especially in battleground states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, where even small numbers would seem to make a very big difference.
Is that the reason he has largest number of Indian Americans in his
Well, it does certainly make sense to me. Not only him, even Vice President Ms. Kamala Harris, she has got a good number of Indian Americans on her staff. So, yes, and well, many of these people have come from the Obama administration. So there is some kind of a continuity, and Indian Americans have found a niche in the Biden administration, which is good for the community.
What role do you see for Vice President Kamala Harris during the election campaign?
I you see the problem with Miss Kamala Harris right now is that her polling numbers are not any great. They are as good or as bad as that of Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden today has the lowest polling numbers among any American president seeking re-election. Today morning, I saw his one poll showing him at 37%. And before that, it was Ronald Reagan who had 38%. So you have to see on what issues does the Biden campaign assigns to Kamala Harris. And she's a wonderful person. She's a good speaker. She's a very talented lady. And she brings a lot to the table. Depends as to how the campaign is going to make use of her.
Anything else you'd like to say about it? Coming on the Vice President itself, who do you think could be the potential Republican Vice President?
Well, if I were to bet you a cup of coffee, I would put it on Nikki Haley. She has got good credentials. I'm not saying it because she's an Indian American, not at all. She was a two-term governor of South Carolina, and she was the American ambassador to the United Nations. She has got a good head on her shoulders, and she's a person who is not afraid to speak her mind out on issues that are going to matter to the American public. You may agree with her or you may not agree with her, but she has got some very strong views on abortion, guns, economics, inflation. So you have to give her credit. She's very well qualified, and she'll be a good vice presidential candidate. In fact, she will even be a damn good presidential candidate, but I think it's a little too early for her.
Last question. What do you think in 2024 would be the tickets in both the sides? What's your prediction?
My prediction is that it will be DeSantis and Nikki Haley with Mr. Trump running as an independent. Because I don't think the GOP would want to touch him with a barge pole, because he brings with him not just the advantages of a good, sizable, following, but the huge disadvantage of all kinds of, conspiracy theories, whacked out, ideas about how and why he lost the 2020 election.
Thank you so much.